Hi there everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. This is episode 42 and we've got another great pub quiz lined up for you, a virtual pub quiz night with all the rounds you could expect right there. We're going to wait until about 8 o'clock. I think we normally wait till about 8 o'clock until people join watching live, and then we'll make a start with our first question. So if you're watching a repeat of this and you don't need to worry about the preamble of the show, you need to skip ahead about 10 minutes or so. Until we make the start with the first round of the evening, which, as you can see up there tonight, is 2019 Events of the Year, a really interesting potluck round. So what I'm going to do first of all, as always, is I'll be sharing the link out for the quiz across Facebook to various other places. Feel free to do the same, that would be much appreciated. See if we can get a nice big crowd in watching tonight, as always. And then we'll make a start at about 8 o'clock. So I'm going to do that now. Let me know in the comments how you're all doing. While I do that, let me know, are you having a cheeky drink tonight on your Tuesday? And even if you're watching, and this is a repeat viewing, or you're watching it when it's not live, let me know how you're doing. I'd love to know if you're still watching along. That would be great to see. As I share this out there, do not be afraid to get in the comments and to say hello. Let me know if you're new to the show. Are you joining in from somewhere else around the world you haven't watched along before? I'll happily explain how this all works to you. And you will hear that anyway as we continue through the evening. Got a few things to talk about tonight as well. The government have recently announced some new measures for pubs and the restaurant trade business, and so they do affect the quiz a little bit in terms of the pub side of it. But not so much what you're watching right now. I do host the pub quiz in a physical pub as well. That's where this all came from, if you didn't realise. So there is a little bit to talk about there later on for those of you who are interested in that, because it will affect things. All pubs have to close at 10 o'clock, and that is actually close, as in kick people out 10 o'clock, not tell people to drink up at 10 o'clock. So that is going to have a big impact on how the quiz runs. So let me now just see who is in the comments, because I have now shared the quiz with everybody and we're making a start in 10 minutes time, and I'm delighted to also tell you that Abby is back. She's going to be asking her question to kick the show off officially. Then we'll go into the first quiz round as advertised up there. We missed her last week, she was put poorly, but she's all good now and raring to go and very excited. So yes, look forward to that. Say hello in the comments, guys. Let's see who we've got joining us tonight. So, James Bailey says, good evening all. Heidi, hi. Welcome along, mate. Anna Hillis says, can't believe you now clash with Great British Bake Off. You don't need to watch that live. Don't worry about that. You can catch up with that afterwards, and then you can fast forward through all the adverts, right? Come on, nobody watches live TV anymore, do they? Seriously, you don't need to worry about that. But I'm glad you chose to be watching along rather than watching Great British Bake Off. So yeah, Paranurse are in the house. Well done. Abby's back. Yes. Vernia's happy. She's sending love hearts. That's half a dozen. Thank you for that. Yeah, she's very happy to be back. Evening to Jace. Welcome. Amanda says, oh, hey, Abby. Good evening all. Ed says, morning, of course. Yes, always difficult, aren't you, Ed? But we always have a laugh. Junior says, evening all as well. Thank you all for joining. I've heard a rumour that Back in Black have combined forces with Kings and Queens tonight. So when they're all joining, there will be a super team, which is going to be interesting. Speaking of which, Andy has just joined as well, as I take a sip of my customary pub quiz beer, which this evening is one of the Beer 52 beers. This is an American box they've sent this time. Just a classic lager, this one is. But yeah, they're all American beers they sent in this month's pack. If you would like to find out what all the fuss is about, I believe I still have Beer 52 vouchers available. I think I've only got 2 left. So I will just check while we're building up. If anybody, or if you or anybody you know would like a free crate of beer, courtesy of beer52.com. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but they keep giving me these golden tickets and you get a free crate of beer for it, and then you can stick with them if you want, or cancel it if you're not interested. So yeah, it's well worth it. I've enjoyed it for a long time now. And yes, I do have 2 golden tickets left for a free box of beer and free delivery. Can't say fairer than that. James says about Great British Bake Off, that's exactly what I said to Anna earlier in the front garden about recording Great British Bake Off when she announced the dilemma. Great minds think alike. And James, whilst we're on the subject of talking to you specifically, you really need to check out what the other James is doing on Keep Calm and Listen In. He's been doing shows every day on Mixcloud, and they're all pre-recorded, the ones Monday to Friday, and one of them was about Erasure. You'd love it. They're only like 20-minute shows with 3 songs played, and then there's a little trivia bit in amongst it as well. It's well worth checking out on Mixcloud. It means that he doesn't have the problems anymore with Facebook police stopping him from playing what music he wants. He can do whatever he wants over there. So it's really great music, and one of the shows was about Erasure. So I thought of you, and you should definitely check it out, mate. It's really good. Heidi High says Sarah as well. Welcome along. Numbers are gradually creeping up. That's nice. See if we can get to around about that 30 mark or more. That would be lovely if we did, because those are the kind of numbers we're getting on this Tuesday night quiz. We do have a few other things to talk about before we get into all the different quiz rounds tonight. Yes, I've mentioned that Abby's back. I mentioned also that Lima's going well. Because I share, as most of you know now, the regular viewers at least know that I share a little quiz on Limor, which is an audio social media platform. I'm slowly creeping up to 100 followers. If I get that, it's a huge milestone on the platform. If you get to 100 followers, it means the world to me in terms of the little quiz and the future of my work on Limor. And I'm at 87 followers now, so it's slowly creeping up. Which is really cool. So yeah, long may that continue to grow. But yeah, that milestone of 100, I don't know if I'm going to make it in time for the end of the series of Little Quiz that I'm currently doing. I've only got like 5 or 6 episodes left of the series. But please do, if you haven't seen or heard anything about Limor yet, download it and give my Little Quiz a listen on there. Give us a follow. It's a lot of fun. I do share them externally, of course, but it's more fun if you can interact in the comments with me there. Too. Hi to Alex, welcome. It's been a while since you've joined these shows. I want to say you've been out for a while, but maybe I'm wrong. I know you said you've been away for a while, so welcome anyway. So that's good that you've managed to join us as well. We're shooting up in numbers. That's a nice little drop there. So thank you. If there's anybody that's new watching along, we are starting in about 5 minutes time. All the rounds are up here, and at the end of the quiz I always share a picture round as well. That picture round will be shared as a separate post on the page, and you can share that with whoever you like, just like all of my posts. If you do share any of my work, if you do comment, if you do, like some of you are now, hit the like button, hit that heart button, or any of those good emojis, all that, including commenting on these posts, and indeed any of my other posts, help you get a top fan badge. If you get a top fan badge, you can get into the top fan group, and in there I share extra stuff that you don't normally get over on the main page, and you get early access as to what each quiz is about. Sometimes I tell you what the quiz is about an hour before, like I did tonight. Sometimes you hear maybe 6 hours before. Sometimes, if I'm really well prepared, the day before. But the Patreon members get to find out everything before that, so I have to be fair to them first. It all depends on my schedule. Alex says he's been away, but back home now, and glad I could join in. Oh, lovely. Evening to Luke as well. Luke Miser's joining in. Good evening to you. 4 minutes to go before we call Abby in to ask her question. James says, hasn't helped me so far. No, James, I know. Facebook is... I don't know what it is. I haven't seen any changes, to be honest. After saying all that, I haven't seen any changes in the top fan badges lately. But then I'm not doing as much. You know, I'm not posting twice a week live videos every week anymore. I'm only doing once every Tuesday, apart from the last week of the month, which is then the Patreon quiz, which is going to be next week. So there won't be a quiz next week on Facebook Live. It's the Patreon only one, and that'll be on Google Meet like before. So because I'm posting less, I'm trying to do more general posts, but I guess that means I'm not having as much interaction because I'm not posting as much out there. So maybe that's got something to do with it, but it should still be allocating top fans. So we'll see. I know there's still a lot of updates going out for the new version of Facebook, so maybe that's something to do with it. Maybe they've changed the functionality and not told anybody. I'm not sure. Couple of minutes left to go, and then we'll be making a start. We'll bring in Abby to ask her question, and then we'll crack on with the events round of 2019. What else do we have to talk about tonight, I wonder? I don't know. I have, of course, got a few different things in the description. If you would like to support me in any other way, and particularly as well, the charity of Secret Santa 365, they really need our support right now. And as they do all the time, really, because they're a very small charity. There's only really like one person who started it all, and she has help, of course, but it's a very small charity that brings lots of gifts to needy people all across Oxfordshire. So if you do want to join in and help out in any way, that's the first way of doing it. If you can go a bit further and you want to support me, and I do give you rewards if you support me directly, then check all the links in the description. It's all there. Hello to Diva, welcome. Thank you for joining. One of my Patreon members and followers, of course, on Limor. And we've shot up now. Look at that, 33. Please do stick around. I think we're going to bring in Abby in about 1 minute's time, 2 minutes' time. And she's going to ask her first question. She really did miss and hate the fact she couldn't be on last week, but bless her, she was very poorly. But thankfully, all is well. She did have to have a test. She did have to have one of those tests, you know, for COVID, but thankfully it's nothing to do with that, as we suspected. She's fine. Back to school tomorrow. Yay! Yay. She is happy about that as well, which is lovely. Eric and Chris from Blackpool Bar Stewards are here. That's nice. Thank you guys for joining. You are just in time for Abby's question. And who else have we got this evening? If you'd like to say hello in the comments, we've got 1 minute to go before we start tonight's pub quiz with our first question. Now, I'll give you this now. With Abby's question, you're going to need to just put A, B, or C in the comments to say what your answer is, because she'll give you 3 choices. You're not going to know what the answer is, but you have to make an educated guess. Choose A, B, or C once she's said the question. I will paste the question in the comments as well, and the 3 options, so that nobody has any problems with whether or not they heard it on the video first or saw it in the comments first. I'll do it that way as well. And that way you can all have a guess. You get bonus points if you get it right. Of course, it's just for fun, really. So we've got seconds left. Let's bring Abby in now, I think. And Diva says, yay, Abby's feeling better. Oh, yes, it's lovely. Bill says, good evening, Chris and everyone. My 2 dogs tonight. 2 of the barking dogs are in the house. Welcome. Right. Abby, come on in. Take the headphones off. It's like she's been in the booth, not listening, but she has been really. Wearing headphones over there. Right. Bring yourself in then. Come here. Here's your question. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
She's back. Okay, I'm just going to copy the question now and put it in the comments. Here is the question now. Go ahead, Abby. You ask the question.
Which of my favourite ride at the fairground?
Which is
my favourite ride at the fairground? Is it A, Helter Skelter, B, Ferris Wheel, or C, Dodgems?
Dodgems or bumper cars, I guess some of you may know it as. So which is Abby's favourite fairground ride? Is it the Helter Skelter, the Ferris Wheel, or the Dodgems?
A, B, or C?
A, B, or C. We've got plenty of answers coming in. Let's see who gets it right. We're going to let a few people guess, I think, before we say what the first one is, because we have got plenty coming in now. Oh, we've got a mixture of guesses. Interesting. I think this is going to be the first one. Although, having said that, somebody guessed before the question was even asked here. So, as funny as that is, Trevor, I'm afraid we're not going to tell you whether you're right or wrong because I hadn't even asked the question yet. Okay, so after the question was posted and the question was asked, this is the person who's got it right. Abby, why don't you read this out? This person here.
Sarah Biggs.
Yay! The Helter Skelter's the correct answer. Sarah's got this one right. Give yourself a bonus point, Sarah. Very well done. Yes. You get 1 bonus point. It's a very special bonus point, though, of course. Who else said A? I mean, I guess we should say well done to Trevor, who somehow predicted A was the correct answer, even though he didn't know what the question was. So well done. But looking through the answers, oh, Andy said A as well. Amanda said A. Looks like all of the Back in Black people guessed A pretty much. Oh, Bill said B. Alex said, we have changed our name. We are now the Royal House of Black. And hi, Abby, and well done, Sarah. Yes, Alex, I'd heard about that. Oh, Sarah says, love a Helter Skelter. My daughter's favourite too. Oh, that's how she knew. Yeah, she loves that. Yeah, Trevor, you're the winner. You can't get a bonus point. Sarah gets the bonus point, but you are also a winner. We'll let you have that. Thank you for joining. Okay, I'm going to crack on then with the next round, the proper first round, which is the events of 2019. Everybody say goodbye to Abby. My daughter's away now, and you will see her in 2 weeks' time because it's Patreon quiz next week. So she won't be on then, I know. Very sad. But she'll be back in 2 weeks with another question to give you all a bonus point. Amanda says, Trevor, could we have the lottery numbers also? Yeah, I think that's a good shout. He seems to have a knack for these things. So let's see. Okay, darling, off you go. No. Mwah. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Good girl. Okay, let me get ready then for this first round. 2019 events of the year.
Good luck, everyone.
Oh, Abby says good luck, everyone, in case you didn't hear that. Lovely. Right, well, it's great to be back, guys. I'm glad you're all doing well. And because of Abby not being well, I actually couldn't go out and host the pub quiz. So I've missed seeing all the regulars at the pub quiz on Thursdays and Sundays, King's Head and Bell in Abingdon. The quiz did go ahead. There was cover by one of the regulars. If you are a regular, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I trust it went well. Apparently it did, apart from a little technical hitch at the very beginning on one night. But apart from that, yeah, I'll be back on Thursday, though, now that this is all out of the way. So, your 2019 Events of the Year quiz round. All you need to do, if you're new to this, is write down your answers. Keep them to yourselves. Don't put the answers in the comments or anything for these quiz rounds. Keep them to yourself. At the end of a quiz round, I will offer you the chance for any repeats. Then I'll repeat as many of them as I need to. Preferably not all of them. We do have a time limit on these things. But I can repeat some of the questions. Then we'll go through the answers. And you can mark your own answers and submit your team scores in the comments. And then we'll celebrate with those of you who do well, and we'll commiserate with those who don't do quite so well. At the end of the evening, once all 3 rounds listed at the top here are complete, we'll say our goodbyes, and then I'll share a picture round separately. It's actually, I've been a little bit well prepared today, like I did last week, and I've managed to schedule it to post at 9:30. So just keep an eye out for that post. It'll be there automatically on the Facebook page as a new post and on Instagram at Big Quiz Night In. So, question number 1 then, in our 2019 Events of the Year, which Speaker of the House of Commons stepped down in October 2019? Which Speaker of the House of Commons stepped down in October 2019? Yes, do keep the emoji reactions coming, please, guys. They always help put the videos in front of more people, which you never know, might get some more followers of the quiz, so that's always much appreciated. That's how the Facebook algorithms seem to work. So make sure you've at least given it a like before you leave at the end of the evening. Question 2. Who was unceremoniously dragged from the Ecuadorian embassy in April 2019? Who was unceremoniously dragged from the Ecuadorian embassy in April 2019? Yeah, thanks for all the lovely comments for Abby. Yeah, she was very sad that she couldn't take part last week. Question number 3 is for 2 points. Which 2 names did the Duke and Duchess of Sussex give to their baby boy? Which 2 names did the Duke and Duchess of Sussex give to their new baby boy last year? Guess the 2 names. I think it's like first name and middle name, I guess. Would be a better way of wording that one. 1 point for each. You don't have to write them in the right order, but just get 1 point for each on that one. Okay. Question number 4. Remember, if I do go through these too fast, I will always do repeats for you. Question 4. Which country successfully landed a spacecraft on the moon in January 2019? Which country successfully landed a spacecraft on the moon in January 2019? I think is it SpaceX are planning to send people to the moon again soon. I'm sure it's SpaceX or one of the other private companies. No, I think it's SpaceX. They've been working on new technology to do it, and then use the moon as a almost like a launching a station around the moon to help launch astronauts further into space from there, which is insane, but very cool. Question number 5. Which 850-year-old Gothic building burst into flames in Paris in April 2019? Which 850-year-old Gothic building burst into flames in Paris in April 2019? Next question is for 2 points if you get it exactly right. Excuse me. How many MPs left their parties to form Change UK, the independent group? How many MPs left their parties to form Change UK, the independent group? 2 points if you get that exactly right. That's normally the way we do things when it comes to guessing a number or a year on things in each round that we do these on. Okay, question number 7 now. This one's for another 2 points. Which nation won the Eurovision Song Contest in 2019, and in which country was it held? Which nation won the Eurovision Song Contest, and in which country was it held? Tracy says, hi everyone, running late. Appreciate if we could have the questions 1 to 4 at the end of the round. Yeah, of course we can. No problem. Just glad you're here. No problem repeating those ones. All right. Question number 8 now. Question number 8 for you. Who was named by Forbes magazine as the world's youngest self-made billionaire? In 2019, who was named by Forbes magazine as the world's youngest self-made billionaire? You're welcome, Tracy. No problem. I'm sure there'll be others who would like some of those repeated anyway, don't you worry. There we go. Got to get the old sound effects ready in a moment because we'll be doing our survey says Family Fortunes round later on. So we're just loading that up as well while I do this. And Blockbusters, of course, before that. Question number 9. Which actress was described as the world's sweetheart after her death in May 2019? Which actress was described as the world's sweetheart after her death in May 2019? I can't believe that was so long ago. Doesn't feel like it was. But then a lot's happened. In fairness, quite a lot has happened since then, hey? Question number 10. Which Spice Girl didn't tour the UK in 2019? Which Spice Girl didn't tour the UK in 2019 for their reunion? Did any of you go to that gig? I saw pictures and videos on Facebook from people who did. It's not really my kind of show, but apparently there's still a lot of fans out there. Question 11. Which member of the royal family did Donald Trump describe as nasty last year? Which member of the royal family did Donald Trump describe as nasty last year? Four more questions to go in this round. 15 questions per round we normally do. Again, for anybody that's new watching along, that's how it works. Any repeats other than questions 1 to 4, which I'm already going to do, let me know when we get to the end. Question 12 is for 3 points. Which 3 MPs made it through to the final ballot in the Conservative Party's leadership election in 2019? Which 3 MPs made it through to the final ballot in the Conservative Party's leadership election in 2019? Tracy says, I have a few guilty pleasures, but the Spice Girls is not one of them. Oh, Gabby says, I saw the Spice Girls with Emma Green last year. It was fab. Oh, bless. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having guilty pleasures like that. I think we've all got guilty pleasures to some extent. I was in my first years of secondary school when the Spice Girls came out and started releasing songs. But yeah, of course, I think when most people are at secondary school, you kind of like whatever's in the charts. That's the only cool music you're allowed to like. Some people, anyway. But yeah, not so much these days. All about the rock music now, me. Question number 13. Which 15-year-old Swedish environmental activist travelled to the USA by yacht to promote climate change? You don't get marked down for spelling on this because obviously I won't be marking your answers. Which 15-year-old Swedish environmental activist travelled to the USA by yacht to promote climate change in 2019? Two points for question 14. Which 2 footballers' wives were involved in a row over fake news stories in 2019? Which 2 footballers' wives were involved in a row over fake news stories in 2019? 1 point for each. Just the 1 question left. And your final question will be for 3 points. Quick side note, it's a rarity for me, but that particular one from Ep42, not that great. Not that great. I mean, it's going to get drunk. But they sent me every other can out of this crate. Really good. Really like a lot of those. That one, yeah. Probably won't get that one again. Hey. Question 15 then, the final question in this 2019 Events of the Year round. Which 3 cities shared the dubious honour of being the most expensive cities in the world to live in? You do not have to put them in order, but which 3 cities shared the dubious honour of being the most expensive cities in the world to live in? 1 point for each. So have a moment to think about that. I am going to go back and repeat the first 4 questions. If you would like any other questions repeated, do let me know. Let me know in the comments and I'll do that for you. But here we go with the first 4. Question number 1 was which Speaker of the House of Commons stepped down in October 2019? Which Speaker of the House of Commons stepped down in October 2019? Question number 2, who was unceremoniously dragged from the Ecuadorian embassy in April 2019? Who was unceremoniously dragged from the Ecuadorian embassy in April 2019? Question 3 is for 2 points. Which 2 names did the Duke and Duchess of Sussex give to their new baby boy? Which 2 names, first name and middle name, did the Duke and Duchess of Sussex give to their new baby boy in 2019? 1 point for each correct name. For question 14, to answer Gabby's comment there, we're looking for the name of the wives. The names of the wives, preferably the full names. I mean, I'm not going to know if you don't get the full names. But yeah, 1 point for each of the footballers' wives' names, not their husbands. Question 4 then, to repeat that for you again. Which country successfully landed a spacecraft on the moon in January 2019? Which country successfully landed a spacecraft on the moon in 2019? James says Ecuador is a song by Sash. It certainly is. Classic dance tune. Very good. Okay, does anybody else need a repeat? If not, we'll go through the answers for that round. One thing I will say is, just a quick side note while I wait to see if there's any more repeats. Anybody that comes to the quizzes on Thursdays and Sundays, I have been talking to all the relevant people I need to talk to about the best way to make sure the quiz finishes at 10 o'clock while still starting at 8 o'clock, and also still preferably cramming in the entire quiz into a 2-hour time slot instead of the 2.5 hours that it normally runs, because you have to be out at 10 o'clock, not drink up at 10 o'clock. You have to be out at 10 o'clock. So conversations are ongoing. I've got plenty of ideas how we can do it, but you're going to have to bear with us for those who come to the quiz, because it's starting this Thursday. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but we've got some ideas. I think I know how it can work. Nothing confirmed yet though. Andy says out of 23, I think, including 2 for the MP's question re-change UK. Yes, that is 2 points if you get it exactly right, question 6. So yes, thank you for that. Right, let's go through the answers then. So, question 1, which Speaker of the House of Commons stepped down in October 2019? It was John Bercow. Question 2, who was unceremoniously dragged from the Ecuadorian embassy in April 2019? That's Julian Assange. Question 3, the 2 names that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex gave to their new baby boy is Archie Harrison. Question 4, the country that successfully landed a spacecraft on the moon in January 2019 was China. Question 5, the 850-year-old Gothic building that burst into flames in Paris was, of course, the Notre Dame Cathedral. Question 6, 2 points if you got this exactly right. The MPs that left their parties to form Change UK, the independent group, well, 8 of them were from Labour, 3 of them were from the Tory party, so it's 11 in total. Question 7, which nation won the Eurovision Song Contest and in which country was it held? It was the Netherlands that won, or Holland, and it was Israel it was held. Question, so that's 2 points there. Question 8, who was named by Forbes magazine as the world's youngest self-made billionaire? It's Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner. Okay, what is the world coming to? Question 9, which actress was described as the world's sweetheart after her death in May? That is Doris Day. Question 10, which Spice Girl didn't tour the UK in 2019? Victoria Beckham, or Posh Spice, I suppose you could have a point for. Question 11, which member of the royal family did Donald Trump describe as nasty last year? Meghan Markle. I mean, are they technically not part of the royal family now? I guess they've given up everything, haven't they? But then, when that happened, they were. So it still counts. Question 12, which 3 MPs made it through to the final ballot in the Conservative Party's leadership election in 2019? Boris Johnson, obviously. The other 2 were Jeremy Hunt, had to be careful how I said that one, and Michael Gove. Don't get political on the show, Chris. Question 13, which 15-year-old Swedish environmental activist travelled to the USA by yacht to promote climate change? It is Greta Thunberg. It's spelt Thunberg, but it's pronounced Thunberg. Pretty much. That's the best that we could do anyway. Question 14, which 2 footballers' wives were involved in a row over fake news stories in 2019? It was Colleen Rooney, and the famous tweet she sent out was, it's ... Rebecca Vardy. Because she had allegedly been leaking stories to the tabloid press about Colleen, and Colleen found proof, so she believed that it was Rebecca Vardy. They had a spat online and probably in person, and that's where that all came from. Question 15, which 3 cities shared the dubious honour of being the most expensive cities in the world to live in? You didn't have to put these in order, so you just get 1 point for each, but I will give you them in order anyway. 3rd place is Paris, 2nd place was Hong Kong, and the most expensive place is Singapore. So tally up your scores, let me know how well you did, and then we'll be moving on to the next round. Just a reminder that all the links you need to support the quiz are in the description of this video, but please do consider, before you financially consider backing me, I'm still supporting Secret Santa 365. I've shared the link in the comments now. If you could throw a few quid their way every now and then, that would be really great and much appreciated. If you want to know what they do, you can click that link and find out all about it on their GoFundMe page as well, or find them on Facebook. They would greatly appreciate the support. And there's plenty of other links in there you can follow to support me, even for things like just following me on Twitter and Instagram at BigQuizNight. It costs you nothing, or on Limor. This is what this poster is in the background, in case you haven't noticed that already, for any new people. Yep, scores are starting to come in. So George says 16 for Sale Marketeers, a poor 13 for Tracy, even with the repeats, 14 for Blackpool Bar Stewards, Two Dog Night, a new team name there for Bill and Tony from Marbella, have got 11 points. 15 for Diva, well done. James Bailey says On My Own, 18. 21 for Let's Get Quizzical. 17 out of 23 for the Royal House of Black. It is Kings and Queens combined with Back in Black, for regular viewers wondering what that's all about. Or the Royal Flush of Black. I like it. Either way's fine. But 17 points for them. 21 for Let's Get Quizzical, Nicola. That's a great score. I think that is the leading score so far. Let's see what else we've got. Oh dear, 12 for Paranurse. 13 for Half a Dozen. Pull your finger out, Peter, Ant says. Good efforts all round. I think that's about it. I haven't said a proper hello to Tony. I remember Tony from Marbella, he put in a comment saying hello. I don't know if I skimmed past it too quickly or if I said it already. Tony, how are you feeling about Spurs at the moment and what's been going on at the club? Bale is back. Very exciting. He might not play till October now. But I'm very excited about how things are looking, and what a game we had eventually on the weekend. Goodness me. Shame we couldn't play tonight though. Right, your next round, but yeah, Tony, let me know in the comments what you think. Your next round then is going to be a Blockbusters round. So I'm going to ask you questions similar to that which would be on the Blockbusters show. I'll just give you the letters, I'll give you a clue, and the answer begins with those letters. Okay? So that's how this is going to work. It'll be another 15 questions, but each one is just for 1 point. So even if it's multiple letters, a multiple word answer, it's still just 1 point. Because really, if you get like one or two of the words right, you should get the whole answer right. But it's just 1 point for each, and you have to get it exactly right to get the point. So that's how Blockbusters round's going to work for you. Patreons will know this very differently, because I do screen share a Blockbusters game, and we do the gold run on the board and all sorts. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that sounds fun for you. Again, links in the description. Here we go with the Blockbusters round then. Which TN features the following extract? If music be the food of love, play on. Which TN features the following? If music be the food of love, play on. That's question number one. Bit of culture there. We don't often do questions along these kind of lines. It's a completely general knowledge round, by the way. Completely general knowledge. Tony says, shame about the cancelled game tonight, but at least I get to quiz. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Glad you could join in. Yeah, it is a shame. Leyton Orient, I don't know if people realise or heard or care, Leyton Orient was supposed to be playing Spurs tonight, and they had rumoured 18 different players with COVID-19. And Spurs paid for them to be tested, because lower league football clubs are not testing very often at all. So Tottenham paid for them all to be tested, and they discovered that 18 of them had COVID-19. So we're not playing them tonight. Probably won't. I think we've got to bye to the next round now. Question 2. Which VP, speaking of football, but which VP is the home of Bradford City Football Club? Which VP, to spell phonetically, it's Victor Papa, is the home of Bradford City Football Club? It's a shame. I was looking forward to watching that tonight before I come to do the quiz. Oh well, I've got another game on Thursday. Thick and fast this month. Question number 3. Which LIAA is a signature song from 4 Weddings and a Funeral? Which LIAA is the signature song from 4 Weddings and a Funeral? James says, on my head, Son. Yes, 4 goals, I know. 4 goals and 4 assists for Harry Kane. Do you know Harry Kane still didn't get into BBC Football's Team of the Week, even though he was the first player in the history of the Premier League, first English player in the history of the Premier League to assist 4 goals to the same person. He played incredibly, and he didn't get in the Team of the Week. It's unbelievable. A lot of credibility lost there, I think. From the BBC, at least. Question 4. Which EYM is a person thought to be suitable as a husband? Again, spelling it phonetically, that's M for Mike. So which EYM is a person thought to be suitable as a husband? It's a tricky one, that, I think. Diva says, Kane, so many Fantasy Premier League points. Yes, absolutely. I'm doing 2 this year. I'm doing a draft one and the Fantasy Premier League one. And in one team for the first week I had in my team I had Mo Salah and Kane, and they both done insanely well over week 1 and then week 2 respectively. So yes, although I should have made Kane captain, but yes, well done Diva. You did well too. I do have, if you're interested and you haven't joined already, it's still time. Big Quiz Night In has its own Fantasy Premier League going. Got 15 teams in there. It's pretty good. It's pretty good going. It's all free. It's all just for fun. Question number 5. Which SOL still holds a torch for New York City? Which S for Sierra, which SOL still holds a torch for New York City? Yeah, if you'd like to join my Fantasy Premier League private league, just send me a message. I'll ping you the link to it. If you've already got a team going in fantasypremierleague.com or whatever, fantasy.premierleague.com I think it is. But yeah, I'm mid-table at the moment. James says I'm in there. Yeah, I thought I'd seen you in there. Yeah, I'm not very good at fantasy football. I normally lose interest by Christmas. But I'm going to try this year because we play it at work as well. So yeah, and then make an effort. Question 6. Which TMG is a UK number 1 for Shane Ward? Or was a UK number 1 for Shane Ward? Which TMG, that's Tango Mike Golf phonetically, is a UK number 1 for Shane Ward? Right, your next question. Question 7. Which DAAB, that's Delta AAB for Bravo, is mad as a hatter or nutty as a fruitcake? Which DAAB could be mad as a hatter or nutty as a fruitcake? That's number 7 for you. Remember, it's still 1 point for each, regardless of how many words you need to guess. Question number 8 now. Which TS is Iron Man's real name? Which TS, that's Tango Sierra, is Iron Man's real name? Right, your next question, question number 9. Which HB, that's Hotel Bravo, is theoretical elementary particle? Which HB is a theoretical elementary particle? I know there's at least one team here that's going to get that one right. At least I hope so. Right, on to question 10. Which BA, that's Bravo Alpha, which BA is the director of the Best Film Oscar winner Argo from 2013? Which BA is the director of the Best Film Oscar winner Argo in 2013? Was a good film as well, actually. So he didn't win Best Director for it, but the film that he directed won Best Film. So that's BA for number 10. Question 11. Which IMHO is a popular text acronym? What does it mean? The popular text acronym IMHO. So that would be India Mike Hotel Oscar. IMHO. Translate that popular text acronym. No, James, it's not B.A. Baracus. I'm afraid he's not a director. Although that is a really interesting other quiz question. Maybe you could drop that in the comments if you know. Totally separate to this round, but what does the BA stand for in B.A. Baracus? Again, that's totally separate to what we're doing here. But since you mentioned it in the comments, James, what does the BA stand for? Question number 12. Which KCC was the winner of the February 2020 Super Bowl? Which KCC was the winner of the February 2020 Super Bowl? Oh, thank you. This last one was rubbish, by the way, darling.
Was it?
Yeah, I was just telling them that one was not very nice. It's basically just like water flavoured like beer.
Is it American?
Oh, they're all American this month, aren't they? They all are. Right, your next question then, guys. Which BC was Robert Leroy Parker otherwise known as? That's which BC, so Bravo Charlie phonetically, was Robert Leroy Parker otherwise known as? Okay, this time we're on to this one. Look at this. Try and get the light off of it. Massive Pale Ale, or Massive India Pale Ale, this one is. Great South Bay. 7%. Flip. Okay, alright. Question 14. Which sea is the capital of Australia? Which sea is the capital of Australia? And one more question then for this round. Question 15. Again, let me know your repeats in the comments if you need any. Question 15. Which DDG is Manchester United's current number 1? Which DDG is Manchester United's current number 1? So that's the Blockbusters round for you. 15 questions. Let me know if you need any repeated. Oh, James says it's Bad Attitude. Tracy says it's Badass for B.A. Baracus. I think because it's a family-friendly show, they said it was Bad Attitude, but it's definitely implied that it could be what Tracy said as well. But yeah, I believe it is Bad Attitude. Officially. Okay, that's a nicer beer. That is definitely a nicer beer. I always did prefer stronger ones, in fairness. Right, so Eric's asked for number 6 again. Okay. Jan's here. He says 1 to 7 for me, please, as again was late after the gym. Good evening, everyone. Well, Eric wants number 6 as well. So let's fly through 1 to 7 and see if that helps out anybody else. And if you need any other repeats, let me know. We've got plenty of time. So, right. So question number 1 was If music be the food of love, play on, came from which TN? Tango November, to spell it phonetically. If music be the food of love, play on, comes from which TN? Comes from a TN, but what does TN stand for? Which VP, for question 2, is the home of Bradford City Football Club? Okay, Ant's asked for number 10 as well. We'll get there, that's fine. For question 3, which LIAA is the signature song from 4 Weddings and a Funeral? Question 4, which EYM, M for Mike, which EYM is a person thought to be suitable as a husband? Question 5, which SOL still holds a torch for New York City? Question 6 was for Eric as well. Which TMG was a UK number 1 for Shane Ward? And for number 7, which DAAB could be mad as a hatter or nutty as a fruitcake? So Ant, for number 10, which BA was the director of the Best Film Oscar winner Argo in 2013? So Bravo Alpha, which BA was the director of the Best Film Oscar winner Argo in 2013? Any more for any more, again, let me know. And then we'll go through the answers for that round and see how well you all did. Okay, I think we're going to go through the answers. All right, question number 1. Which TN featured If Music Be the Food of Love, Play On? That is the Shakespearean works Twelfth Night. Question 2, the VP, Bradford City Football Club, play at Valley Parade. For question 3, the signature song from 4 Weddings and a Funeral is Love Is All Around. You're welcome, Jan. Yeah, Love Is All Around by Wet Wet Wet, LIAA. Question 4, the EYM, a person thought to be suitable as a husband is an eligible young man. Question 5, still holds a torch for New York City, SOL, it is the Statue of Liberty. Question 6, the TMG that was a UK number 1 for Shane Ward, it was called That's My Goal. Question 7, DAAB, mad as a hatter or nutty as a fruitcake, is daft as a brush. If you're not from the UK, some of those phrases may have been completely lost on you, but yeah, daft as a brush is the answer. Question 8, TS, Iron Man's real name, Tony Stark. Question 9, HB, theoretical elementary particle, Higgs boson. Question 10, the director of Argo from 2013 is Ben Affleck. The BA is Ben Affleck. Question 11, translate this popular text acronym. IMHO means in my humble opinion. I always thought it was in my honest opinion, but I couldn't find that anywhere. It's in my humble opinion. Or you could say IMNSHO, in my not so humble opinion, apparently, as well. Question 12, KCC, the winner of the February 2020 Super Bowl is the Kansas City Chiefs. Question 13, BC, Robert Leroy Parker, otherwise known as Butch Cassidy. Question 14, the capital of Australia, C, is Canberra. Question 15, Manchester United's current number 1, DDG, is David De Gea. So let me know how many you got correct there. Let's see what your scores are. And remember, it is 1 point for each correct answer in that round. So the tallying up there should be relatively easy because it's out of 15 points. And I'll just, while you're doing that, make sure my sound effects are lined up and ready for Family Fortunes. Oh, a bit quiet, I'll turn that up a bit. While you submit your scores, there we go. Sounds good. Okay, 10 points for Tracy, 12 out of 15 for Diva. No, Jan, it's not for each letter, I'm afraid, no. On My Own is 13. Top whack for the Royal House of Black. It is 15 out of 15. Excellent. Well done to the Royal House of Black. 12 for Let's Get Quizzical. Eric says a maximum 15 for Blackpool Bar Stewards. Very good. 12, yeah, for Let's Get Quizzical. 9 for Para Nurse. Devises Uno a very paltry 6. Two Dog Night have got themselves 10 points. 9 points for Jan. That's very good. You're playing catch up there, Jan. Well done. 13 points for Cell Marketeers. Another good score. Well done. That's from George. Well done there, guys. Any more scores? Bring them in. Last week, for those of you who were on watching the show, we did a full 15 question round of Family Fortunes. Because we've got fewer people and therefore fewer teams to go through than we used to have, I think I'll do that again this time because we've got plenty of time. We normally try and run, I'd normally try and keep the shows to an hour and a half, and then the pitch round, as you know, is posted at 9:30. 9 points for half a dozen. Well done, guys. Good effort. So, yeah, I will do the full 15 questions in Family Fortunes again, and I'll tell you how it all works in just a moment. Another reminder, though, there's the link again to Secret Santa. Don't forget to chuck a few quid their way after the show if you don't mind. It'd be much appreciated. They're doing a big push at the minute for their Christmas gathering of gifts and things they're going to give to the needy across Oxfordshire. As could be children, the elderly, any vulnerable people. They're helping lots of people. So, yeah, anything we can do to help would be great. So, with that said, I think we're ready to move on. Just check my notes, see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, don't forget, Patreon quiz night is next week for Patreons. That will be 8:30. The Patreon quiz night starts at 8:30 on Google Meet. Looking forward to that. Ant says Pete's really letting us down now. Oh dear. All right, well, let's see how you get on with this round then. So, Family Fortunes, I have 15 questions. For each question, I have the top 5 answers taken from the survey. Not the only answers from a survey, but just the top 5 answers. Your job is to work out what you think for each of the questions. What do you think the top answer was for the survey? If you get the top answer, it's worth 5 points for your team per question. If you guess an answer and it's not one of the top 5, you get nothing for that question. Running down through the scores though, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 point for the least popular answer. So there's stacks of points up for grabs then with 15 questions and a maximum of 5 points per question. Guess what you think the top answer is, and please only guess one. Ant says we need a quiz on algorithms. Goodness me. Well, look, if you guys become Patreons, or one of you becomes a Patreon, you're welcome to ask me to try and put one together for you. That's the only way that's going to happen, I'm afraid. Because I would not have a clue about what to do for that kind of quiz round. But yeah, Patreons do get to request their own quiz subjects and quiz questions in general on whatever subjects they like. So I know you're half joking, but also would like to see that. That's the kind of thing I'd need to work out if you were a Patreon, if you don't mind me saying so. Right, here we go then. Your first question in the Family Fortunes round. Name a men's fashion brand who make a cologne or aftershave. Name a men's fashion brand who make a cologne. Again, keep the answers to yourself. Don't guess in the comments. But again, if you are one of those people watching as a repeat viewing and you're not watching this live, do say something in the comments. Let me know you watched. Pete knows about bitcoins. Oh, I see. Okay. I know next to nothing about bitcoins. Question 2. Name a type of food that people have delivered to their homes. Name a type of food that people have delivered to their homes. So not necessarily a specific dish, but if you wanted a takeaway, what are the different kinds you could go for? I'll give you a bit of a clue on that one. Jan says Cologne as in the German city. I think you know what we mean here. But yes, very funny. Yeah, we're talking aftershaves, of course. So name yeah, that was a men's fashion brand who make a cologne. Question number 3. Name a reason that you might send flowers. Name a reason that you might send flowers. All right. Your next question. Got to be my favourite question from the round. You'll know why in a minute. Question 4. Name a well-known Jedi from Star Wars. Name a well-known Jedi from Star Wars. That is your 4th question. Name a well-known Jedi from Star Wars. What could possibly be the top answer for that question? Plenty to choose from. I guess depending on how much of a fan you are. Question number 5. Name a type of list. Name a type of list. What would be the top answer from our survey with the question to name a type of list? Jan says, I still haven't watched any Star Wars movie. Oh, Jan. When you do want to sit down and watch them, which you should do, tell me first, and then I will give you a guide as to which order you should watch them in. If you've never watched any of them, there's a way to watch these things. Can't believe you haven't seen any of them. It's quite distressing. Question number 6. Name a job someone does in a hotel. Name a job someone does in a hotel. Question number 7 now. Name an American president who was shot. Name an American president who was shot. All right, question number 8. Name something that squirts water. Name something that squirts water. Ed says Star Wars order 4, 5, 2, 3, then 6, then the others. That's that's basically some kind of machete order, they call it, when you mix up the trilogies. The machete order. It's interesting you say just don't bother with 1. I would argue if you're not going to bother with any of them, don't bother watching 2. It's all subjective. But I'm a fan of all of it. You know, I find enjoyment out of the whole world, the whole story. So I don't really care that some of them strictly aren't great movies. I still find the whole world and story fascinating, and as does the family. So, but my wife and I both agree that 2 has the worst parts of any of them, but it's still important to the overall story. So, now, if you're going to literally watch all of them, you start with episode 1 if you've never seen any of them. and we'll watch them in the order they happen chronologically. It's the only way. But anyway, I could talk about that ad nauseum, as I'm sure you know. Question number 9, onto another favourite subject of mine. Name a James Bond film that starred Roger Moore. Name a James Bond film that starred Roger Moore. My least favourite Bond actor, but some of the movies were okay. Just my least of the Bond actors so far. But yes, number 9, name a James Bond film that starred Roger Moore. Yeah, see, my wife loves episode 1. It's all about Darth Maul. It's awesome. He is awesome. No spoilers in the comments, guys. Jan hasn't seen any of it. Question number 10. Name a word that can follow the word dance. To make a new phrase, obviously. Name a word that can follow the word dance. Five more questions to go. Question 11. Name a capital city that begins with the letter A. Name a capital city that begins with the letter A. I think what we'll do, because we're doing really well time-wise, after this round, if anybody would like to hang around when the quiz is finished, we can do a little bit of a Q&A about what I'm thinking we'll do to finish the quiz early at 10 o'clock, if you're interested, for those who come to the pub. Because I've got a few different ideas, and whilst I've got some of you here who do come to the pub, it will be good to know your thoughts on it. But I won't stay longer than 9:30, because that's when the picture round's posted automatically. So I want to let you go to do that. So we'll have, if anybody wants to stick around, we can have a little chat about that. Question number 12. Name an institution where they have a reputation for serving boring food. Name an institution where they have a reputation for serving boring food. Amanda says, I've only watched the old Star Wars. Amanda, that does not narrow it down. At all. I'm assuming you mean before Disney took over and made 7, 8, 9, Rogue One and the Solo movie. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Because old could mean the original trilogy and only the original trilogy. But anyway, seeing any Star Wars is good in my book. But you should see it all. Then make your own mind up. Question number 13. Name something a sportsman might raise above their head. Name something a sportsman might raise above their head. Oh, like really old. Okay, you mean the original trilogy then? With Mark Hamill in it and Harrison Ford, the original, and Carrie Fisher, yeah? The original movies. Yeah, 4, 5 and 6, Sarah says. Yeah. I mean, they are the best. But people who saw those movies before any of the others will always say they're the best because their nostalgic love for them will not allow them to think anything else is better. That is most commonly what happens. If you were born and introduced to the prequels first, as a child, you would love, like millions of people, believe it or not do, love the prequels. It's just how it is. Some people don't like hearing me say that, but it's true. Question 14. Name a snooker player's nickname that makes him sound very fast. Name a snooker player's nickname that makes him sound very fast. Biggs is right. Yeah. Sarah is my translator. Biggs is right. Brilliant. Yeah. I was given for my birthday this year a signed photograph, which is a deleted scene shot with Biggs and Luke in it. Mark Hamill, and I forget the actor's name, but it's signed by that actor and who plays Biggs. Seriously cool. Tracy says there's loads of remakes of films I refuse to watch. Yeah. But then in fairness, there's some movies that are remakes that you didn't know were remakes that you really like. Doesn't happen too much these days, but I totally get that attitude, yeah. I won't watch the remake of The Karate Kid. Not for love nor money. No chance. For example. But Scarface with Al Pacino, that's a remake. And that is an amazing movie. So it's not always bad. Okay, question 15 then, your last question. Name a West End show that is based on the music of a famous band. Name a West End show that is based on the music of a famous band. I don't mind it when they go back and do like a sequel 30 years on. So I liked, obviously, when Star Wars did it, obviously. And I like the fact that the next Ghostbusters movie is a true sequel to Ghostbusters 2, rather than that remake they did, which I didn't watch. Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, crappy remake. Hated it. Johnny Depp was good casting if you're going to do it, and he was good casting for Willy Wonka, but I hated the movie. Rubbish. And it was just the one actor playing all the Oompa Loompas. I mean, just because they saved money with CGI and making it look like there were many of them. It's the same actor. The magic for me in the first one, part of the magic of the original with Gene Wilder, was the fact that all these Oompa Loompas were pretty much all different people, different actors. You think of all the actors who lost out on work because they decided to just hire one actor to do all of the Oompa Loompas. It's ridiculous. So that really made me grumpy about that. Amanda says Beauty and the Beast wasn't as good, but I still liked it. Not sure about the others though. I didn't see the point in them doing The Lion King. As amazing as it was technologically, no point whatsoever doing The Lion King. It's just a CGI version of the movie to most people, you know? There's no human characters in it anyway. It's not live action. Why bother? Jungle Book was good though, in fairness. There's a real person in that. Alright. Any more repeats for those questions? Let me know. Tracy says, anything to do with Dirty Dancing, Point Break, didn't like Total Recall, won't watch Ghostbusters with women characters, Beauty and the Beast, I could go on, yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with them introducing new Ghostbusters to the team, for example. If those women had come in and taken over with the passing of the torch from the old Ghostbuster actors that were still alive to these new ones, and they told a new story, that's fine. That is totally fine. But why reboot it? And you know what they're doing now? As I just said, the next movie they're doing is a true sequel doing just that. Right, Jan has asked for 3 repeats. Andrew says Wilder only did it when he was allowed to add the tumble when walking towards the winners. What? Okay. Alex says old Disney only. Yes. Old Disney only. Agreed. Although, have you heard the musical of Aladdin? The musical stage production of Aladdin is going to be put on Disney Plus. Now that I am excited for. He was allowed to add the tumble when walking down towards the winners. I'm confused. Okay, I'm going to do those repeats for Jan. Let me know if you need any more repeats. 6, 10, and 14. Number 6 was name a job someone does in a hotel. And number 10 was name a word that can follow the word dance. And number 14 was name a snooker player's nickname that makes them sound very fast. Oh, Gene Wilder. Sorry, I'm just catching on to what Andrew says. Gene Wilder only did it when he was allowed to add the tumble when walking towards the winners. Now I'm with you. Oh, can't believe I forgot that. That's interesting. I also know that Roald Dahl, obviously, who wrote those original stories, hated the Gene Wilder version. That breaks my heart because I loved it. I know it's not quite the same as the book, but I loved it. But again, that's nostalgic love. When you watch these things as a kid and you love it, then it sticks with you till you're an adult. It just does. Ed says they had to remake the Disney films as the old ones don't look great in 4K. Yeah, that's it. Because money as well, I think we'll find. Yes, he's on about Willy Wonka. Thank you, Tracy. Alex says the actors didn't realise his tumble was planned. They all thought he actually fell, so their reactions were real. Oh, that's fantastic. See, this is good. Gene Wilder was brilliant. Okay. All right. I don't think we need any more repeats of that round, so I'm going to go through the answers now. The way this works, if you're new to this kind of round, I will read out the question, then I'll tell you what the answers were, starting with the 1 point answer, then 2, 3, 4, and then 5 points for the top answer. Okay? You'll know I'm saying the top answer, in case it's not obvious, because you'll hear the ding. Okay? So, here we go. Question 1, a men's fashion brand who make a cologne, not the place. 1 point for Tommy Hilfiger. Then Ralph Lauren for 2 points. Calvin Klein for 3. Giorgio Armani for 4. The top answer is Hugo Boss. Question 2. Name a type of food that people have delivered to their homes. We have fish and chips for 1 point. Kebabs for 2. Oh, I could murder a kebab. Chinese for 3. Pizza for 4. And the top answer is Indian food. Right. Question number 3. Name a reason that you might send flowers. We have sickness for 1, birthday for 2, funeral for 3, anniversary for 4, and the top answer is... Thank you, Valentine's Day. You send flowers for Valentine's Day. Although, speaking of anniversary, guys, it is my wife and I, it's our 10-year wedding anniversary on Friday. Better buy her something. I kid. Question number 4. Name a well-known Jedi from Star Wars. Oh, love this. Right, we have, for 1 point, Qui-Gon Jinn. Then, for 2 points, Anakin Skywalker. For 3 points, Obi-Wan Kenobi. For 4 points, Luke Skywalker. But the top answer is Yoda. Tracy says, has anybody seen Bill and Ted yet? I love the old one so much I'm scared to watch it. Oh, no, don't. You have to watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm part of the Facebook group and pages that support it. It's, yeah, everybody's raving about it, Tracy. It's fine. It's exactly the kind of movie people need to see with all the crap that's going on in the world. It's a real feel-good movie. Everybody's saying that. And that's the nicest thing about it. Sarah says, congratulations for Friday. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, it's flown by. It really has. Right, your next question was, name a type of list. We have a checklist, a to-do list for 2 points, a wish list for 3, a guest list for 4, and the top answer is shopping list. Question 6, name a job someone does in a hotel. We have a chef, a barman. It says barman, but bartender. Concierge for 3, chambermaid for 4, but the top answer is receptionist. Anna says Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Love it. I tell you what, I'm going to lose friends when I say this. Really don't like that movie. I love 80s movies, don't get me wrong. Never really got it. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I like the music. Don't really like the film. Don't get it. Sorry. No, give me Goonies and Karate Kid any day. Right, question number 7. Name an American president who was shot. We have James Garfield for 1 point, William McKinley for 2, Ronald Reagan for 3, Abraham Lincoln for 4, and the top answer was John F. Kennedy, or JFK, of course. Question 8, name something that squirts water. We have a water fountain, a whale for 2 points, hose pipe for 3, shower for 4, and the top answer, water pistol, or varieties of. Question number 9, name a James Bond film that starred Roger Moore. We have Man with the Golden Gun, which had Christopher Lee as the villain, Scaramanga with 3 nipples, so random. A View to a Kill for 2 points, Octopussy for 3, Moonraker for 4. And the actor who played the villain, Drax, in that, I think it's Drax, he died like yesterday, I think it was. And the top answer though Live and Let Die. Let's see. First Tuesday off Beulah even. Checking the comments here. Schindler's List. No, Schindler's List not there. Nice guess, but not there. Franz List? No, no, Charlie, it's not there. Tracy said, I heard they're remaking The Lost Boys. I'm fuming. Oh, good God, no. Not having that. Michael Lonsdale. Yes, thank you, James. Remaking The Lost Boys. There hasn't been a decent vampire movie in donkey's years. So I can't imagine that would be any good, but hey. Right, your next question was question number 10. Name a word that could follow the word dance. We have routine, academy, off, dance off, hall, and the top answer was floor, dance floor. Although saying dance hall reminds me of Dance Hall Days, which I think is Hall & Oates' song, which then reminds me of the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack, which I still listen to occasionally to this day. Like last week I listened to it again. All the radio stations are so good from Vice City. Brilliant game as well. Question 11. Name a capital city that begins with the letter A. We have Addis Ababa, Ankara for 2 points, Abu Dhabi for 3, Amsterdam for 4. The top answer, Athens. Question 12. Name an institution where they have a reputation for serving boring food. We have your works canteen, armed forces, prisons, hospitals, and the top answer, schools. Wang Chung, thank you, Andy. It's Wang Chung, not Hall & Oates. They do another one on the soundtrack, though, I'm sure of it. I don't know what it is. But yes, Wang Chung, thank you, Andy. There's a music round question for you, and you got it right there. Man in Motion as well. Man in Motion? Oh, Flashdance and St. Elmo's Fire. Yeah, your previous comments there, Anna. I see that, yeah. Fair enough. I'm so incensed I can't spell, says Sarah. I know, right? Yeah, that's a great song from St. Elmo's Fire as well. All right, question number 13. Name something a sportsman might raise above their head. We have weights for 1 point, his arms for 2, javelin for 3, rackets for 4, and the top answer is trophies. Something which, as a Spurs fan, I've forgotten what it feels like to see them win. Hopefully that will change this year. I say that every year, but hey. Okay, question 14. Name a snooker player's nickname that makes him sound very fast. We have James Typhoon Watana. I did not know that was his nickname until I read these answers, by the way. Tony Tornado Drago. Remember, you only needed to say the nicknames. So Typhoon for 1 point, Tornado for 2, Whirlwind for Jimmy Whirlwind White for 3 points, Hurricane for 4 points, Alex Hurricane Higgins. And the top answer, I'm sure most of you would have get this one right, Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan. You only needed to say the nickname, though, for that. You didn't need to get the correct snooker player's name as well, of course. Question 15. Name a West End show that is based on the music of a famous band. We have Tonight's the Night, Jersey Boys, We Will Rock You for 3 points, Viva Forever for 4. Back onto the Spice Girls there, aren't we? Viva Forever. And the top answer is Mamma Mia. So there we go. There's a lot of answers to take in there. If you need me to repeat any of them, let me know in the comments. Remember, it's 5 points for the top answer for each question, and then down through the scores to 1 point for the least popular answer. Let me know how well you did. And then, yeah, we'll talk about if you want to stick around after that. Once you said your team scores, we will talk about what I'm thinking for Thursday's quiz and for Sunday's quiz. Again, nothing's set in stone, but I'd like to know your thoughts on it if you are a regular for the quiz, because you'll understand the running order of things as they currently are, because we now have to have that challenge of fitting in the entire pub quiz into a 2-hour time slot and save somehow 30 minutes. If not more, to give you time to leave before 10 o'clock. It's not going to be fun for me, but we'll do it. Devises Uno, 40 points. Diva's got 59 points. Cracking score. 57 for Let's Get Quizzical. 61 for Cell Marketeers. 56 for Blackpool Bar Stewards. Excellent scores, guys. 56 points for us. 58 for Two Dog Night. There's a good team name, by the way, guys, since you've only got the two of you tonight. Good scores. 59 for Paranurse. Remember, next week it's Patreon quiz night on Tuesday, so there'll be no Facebook Live quiz. If you'd like to get involved in that, see the link in the description, or drop me a message if you've got any questions to support me and get access to that extra quiz, so you get one every Tuesday night through your month. 64 points for the Royal House of Black. 54 points for me, plus 1,024 points for Burned Calories. Awesome fun as always. Thank you, Chris. Go on then, Jan. Go for it. You're welcome, mate. Thank you for joining after your exertion at the gym. On my own, at 64 points. Excellent score, James. Well done. That appears to be the highest score so far as well, with Alex, Royal House of Black, and James on my own. Having missed the first two rounds entirely, tonight's topic added up all the points for all things we guessed correctly for this round. 120 points! Amazing scores. You may not have won any of the quiz rounds doing that, but you win in life, so well done. Ant says 72 points for half a dozen. Goodness me, there we go, there's a new leader. 72 points, that's a very good score indeed. Couldn't get too much better than that. Or could it? Is there anybody else that hasn't put their scores in yet? I don't think so. I think that's everybody. Although saying that, there's always somebody else that will then throw in an answer. So remember, in about 15 minutes from now, the picture quiz will be shared. Ant says, sorry, 68, they recounted. That's okay, you're still a winner. The picture round is going to be shared on Instagram at Big Quiz Night In. Give us a follow if you're on Instagram at all. That would be great. Join me on Limor as well. I've got 87 followers now. I'm really pushing to get to 100. That means a lot for the platform and for me going forward, that I can get to that milestone, especially if I can get there before they launch the new Limor 2.0, the new app. So yeah, trust me guys, it'll be really good. If you like your little quizzes, download it and listen to it that way. It means so much to me that you could do that. And yeah, enjoy the picture round. It will be on Facebook as well as a separate post as always. It's all going to be posted in 15 minutes time. James says, amazing, replying to Ant. Tracy says, we're off as we can't come to the pub with you guys. Night, everyone. Great quiz as always. Yeah, feel free to drop off if you don't come to the pub. The last bit of the conversation is just going to be about that. Thanks to the Blackpool Bar Stewards as well. Jan says, need to run. Still work is waiting for me. Good night, everyone. Good night to you too. Right, so let me just talk about the quiz. So for Thursday nights, and thank you, Diva. Yeah, I'll see you on Limor sometime soon, and Patreon quiz next week. So, Thursday night quiz and on Sunday night quiz, one of the things I'm thinking of doing is only playing the music round through once. That's the first thing. The second thing I'm thinking of doing is for Thursday nights and for Sunday nights, where you've got the the Our Survey Says round and on Thursday nights as a handout sheet, as you know, and the picture round on the Sunday nights as a handout sheet. I'm thinking of giving those out with your entry sheets at the very start of the night, so you can just work on those until I ask for you to hand them in or for them to be collected, to be handed in. And that way, I'm only playing or announcing 3 rounds throughout the evening, and I'll just mark the picture round in between whatever else I'm doing once it's handed in. So those are 2 ways I'm thinking of doing it. Good night to everybody else that's leaving us now. Thank you for your lovely comments. Those are 2 things I'm thinking of doing. And the other thing we're looking into is if we still overrun and we only have a few minutes left to do the jackpot prize on a Thursday night. Bingo's a bit different, but the jackpot prize on a Thursday night, instead of play your cards right, I've worked out a way to make the wheel that I spin on the screens as an elimination wheel. So when I spin it with all the team names on it, whatever it lands on it chooses a team at random, and that team's then eliminated, and we keep spinning it and eliminating a team at a time until there's only one team left, and that team gets to then have the jackpot wheel spun for them to see what they would win. So it's less interactive, admittedly, but it is a fun and interesting way to determine who gets a jackpot prize at the end of the night when we'll be very short on time, potentially. I'm hoping with the changes to the quiz rounds, it means that we won't need to do that, and we'll do the usual play your cards right at the end of the night anyway. But I think those are the changes we're going to have to do. Before we go, if any of you have any ideas as to how else we could speed things up, let me know. The only other thing to say is I am going to speak to, and yes, any questions as well, let me know in the comments. I am also going to make sure, if it's possible, that the bar staff I have helping me hand everything out, collect everything back in, are on hand more often when I need them, and understand the urgency of it, now that we're here at a point where you all have to be out of the pub at 10 o'clock because they have to lock the doors. And the other thing to remember is the police are potentially going to be patrolling a lot more now to ensure that people aren't meeting in more than groups of 6. So there's every chance they could walk into the pub. And if they do that, you could get an on-the-spot fine of £200. Well, not on the spot, but you could be fined £200 minimum. From, I think it's Thursday onwards, they've gone up in price, the fines they're doing. Yeah, less waffle. I mean, you know me, I don't waffle at the pub anyway. But yeah, funny. Andy says, does that mean I'll still need my unlucky blue pen for the bingo? Yeah, please do keep bringing your own pens, mate. You definitely need to do that. Does anybody else have any comments on that? Or any suggestions? If not right now, again, before Thursday, or even at the pub on Thursday, let me know. Andy says, we'll all be done by 9 o'clock if that all comes together. Yeah, I know. Like I said, spinning the wheel instead of playing your cards right is the backup plan. If we run out of time because we have a lot of teams in, for example, I think play the music round once, hand the pitch round out at the start of the night so it can be worked on during everything else. We can avoid cutting out any of the quiz rounds. If none of that works for whatever reason, then we are going to have to cut a quiz round. And I don't want to do that because that's one less voucher to give away. Okay. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Obviously with the likes of Simon, Captain Cabinets, covering for me again now when I need his cover. He's been in the conversation, put some of those ideas. We were talking about it earlier today. Also with Big Dave, talking to him a bit about it. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. Amanda says, hope you managed to make it work. Thanks for the quiz. You're welcome. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We'll have fun. But please just understand if I start kicking off about everybody leaving. I mean, it's not really my job to kick you out, but if I seem a bit stressed or anything, that's what it's going to be about, trying to rush and finish it. I don't want the quiz to stop being fun, because if it stops being fun for me to host it by rushing so much to get everything done by 10 o'clock, that's when we've got a real problem, because I enjoy it immensely, doing what I do, as you know. And as soon as it stops being fun, that's when questions start to be raised. And I really don't want that to be the case. Ed says you could always do the jackpot round after close and announce online next quiz the winner if you are really stuck. Yeah, I mean, we could do. I mean, there'd have to be a witness of some description, but the thing is, the pub has to close at 10. I mean, I would have to be out at 10 as well, really. Or at least be on my way out. I mean, technically I'm employed to do the job there, you could argue, so maybe it's okay for me, but we don't know. We don't know how the police are going to treat it, what they're going to be like. But yeah, there is that possibility. You'd rather that than lose a round. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't want to take away a round at all. That's the last resort, to take a quiz round away just to finish at 10 o'clock. But as long as everybody, like if the bar staff hand everything in to me quickly, and hand everything out to you quickly, which hasn't been happening lately because they've been so busy and they've not realised the time flying by. As long as we can fix that, I think we won't need to change too much, and I can actually do it. So yeah, I think we'll call it a day there, guys. But again, you can always message me if you have any questions about the quiz at all. Any questions at all. Keep an eye out for the pitch around. It's going to be posted soon. If you've been watching a repeat of this, I'm sure you're not watching anymore, so it's fine. But quiz will be Patreon quiz night only next week, and then we'll be back to another run of at least 3 in a row quiz nights here on Facebook Live. Don't forget to check out the description for all the links to support me and everything I do, including Big Game Night In, where you can buy the RPG tabletop kind of game that I've created for friends and family, anybody who wants to play them. It's a lot of fun. So thank you all for your nice comments, and I will see you same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers.